So I wanted to talk about the first time I was tested. I had been engaged in a relationship for a number of years and kind of blindly, um, you know, hopelessly in love, or as the current generation sings, I was drunk in love. And so here we were in a relationship at 19, and then by the time I was 24, 25, and some of the fractures and pieces of the relationship that were chipping away when things would change, I thought it very important that we both get tested together. And so I made it a point to begin to regularly test. And I remember the first time I went to get tested, there was nervousness and fear. And I think it's interesting that African American women will accept the lying and accept the cheating and resolve themselves to at least I have somebody, or whatever, whatever the different things are when you get together with your sister friends and you're talking. Probably the same for men and women, but I can only speak from my experience. And so oftentimes we will make excuses and accept and forgive. We will forgive all of the multitude of things that are possibly done. But as I sat there as a young woman, 24 years old, waiting for my test results and going in to draw blood, that freaked me out, waiting to hear back. The time and the lag and the days and the waiting for that, waiting to hear back from the clinic what my status was. And the fear that I had in that moment, in that week, or in that time, was far greater than, somebody who might send you a message on Facebook, or, well, at that time it wasn't even Facebook, it was MySpace. Somebody who might send you a message on MySpace and say, your boyfriend is my boyfriend. And while that never happened to me, I just think that there's something to that first time being tested. And although he did not get tested with me and the relationship, eventually ended, being tested for that first time made it it became a real part of me, where from that moment on, any relationship I was engaging in, it became cute for us to get tested together. And we started out that way, so it wouldn't be a tough conversation years in. So now we just go and make sure every time we're out at Art and Soul or at any other kind of community event, and there's always testing, I say, come on, it's cute to be booed up. And let's go get tested together. And so I love that the fear and the stigma around folks in relationship together getting tested together. I think it's just something else cute to do. If we can paint together, grow flowers together, and do all the Berkeley hippie stuff that I love to do, then we can also get tested together. And so that first time for me was a game changer. It was an eye opener, and it became very, very real, very fast. And I had to make a commitment to myself and a covenant and a contract with myself that I would never put myself in another situation that would create that level of fear in my life. And so I encourage anybody who's watching that has never been tested to get tested, because you should. And as I tell pastors all the time who are nervous about us putting condoms out in their churches, even when they ask us to show up and do testing, we don't test virgins. And so I remember having an experience with a pastor who had us show up to do HIV testing and conversation around prevention and other things, and we had condoms in a basket. So not like, we're not putting them on the pews. We were way on the other side of another room, and I was instructed, you cannot put condoms out. You cannot have condoms. And it was a real difficult conversation for me, because I thought I was at a very progressive setting, and I was shocked that they were okay with a lot of other things we could talk about. And we could talk about fighting for justice, and we could picket on the streets, and let's go, do whatever, and Obama says this, and we want health care, and we want immigration reform, but don't you put those condoms out on the table. And that was the first time, and just immediately those words came to me. Well, we're not testing virgins, so what do you expect me to do? And so that conversation and every other one since then with that particular group, they know if they see me coming that, and if they ask me to be there, I don't go any places I'm not asked to go. But if they see us coming, it's all because we have the same goal in mind, and that we want to save people. We want to save our generation and create an AIDS-free generation. So that's all I got. That's all I got.